So I had this idea a while ago. We had a meeting at the place that I work that was an all hands. Everyone was invited. And as such, they bought pizza for the entire office. The pizza itself was not great. I mean, maybe because we didn't have a great fourth quarter. And as I was eating this pizza, it occurred to me that there was this weird flavor in the crust. Like, it was like vanilla. It was a little sweet. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if someone made a pizza where the crust was just a cake? So that's what we're going to do. Now, I can hear you protesting through the video right now. Tucker, why would you take the holiest of foods and replace the crust with cake? Why would you ruin such an American classic? And to that I say,
oh no, I'm already at the food store. I wish you had said something earlier.
Laid out in front of me here, I have what I'm going to use to make this abomination, I mean delicacy, cupcake tins. I figured maybe I could try doing some small ones, some test runs. It's in a nice matrix. We can hone in our parameters here. 3 heavy-duty pie pans. Here I have pre-beaten eggs. Here I have tomato sauce, pepperoni, and pizza mixed cheese for, the pizza. And here's the star of the show, some Kroger brand delicious, yummy yellow cake mix. I was going to get Betty Crocker brand to, splurge on this project a little bit, but then I found out that Betty Crocker isn't a real person, and that blew my mind, and I was so disappointed that I've pretty much just sworn off their products altogether. So, Kroger brand it is. Hope you're happy, Betty. We also need vegetable oil, too, but I already had that. Here in chapter 31 of the original Fanny Farmer cookbook, Fanny has this to say on cake. The mixing and baking of cake requires more care and judgment than any other branch of cookery. Notwithstanding, it seems the one most frequently attempted by the inexperienced. Savage. But what does she know? She might be fake, just like Betty Crocker, so... Most cake boils down to 2 main parts. First, you got your proteins. These are the long strands that lock together and make your cake firm. These are things like egg and flour. Then you have the fats, like sugar and oil, or maybe butter. These are going to make your cake a little more loosey-goosey. So we're going to try to hone in these parameters and see what makes the best crust-like cake. We have a matrix of tiny little cake dishes here. We're going to start with the base cake. And then we're going to increase the egg in one direction, and then we're going to increase the vegetable oil in the other direction. Just to see what happens and what kind of mixture we can get that makes it most crust-like. I made this handy-dandy chart so we can keep track of what's going on inside these cupcake cups here. From left to right, we have increasing egg, and from top to bottom, we have increasing oil. And hopefully somewhere in here, I'm guessing somewhere up in this corner, we'll dial in on a nice firm cake that we can turn into a pizza crust. Here's our beautiful creations. I'm going to toss this into the oven. Whoop! Right in there. Bye. So it's been about 20 minutes now. So let's take them out. They feel cooked. I poked them. Let that cool down. Okie dokie, so here I have my matrix of oil-egg combinations. I decided last minute while I was mixing this to double the egg because it didn't look like a lot. Kind of glad I did and not to the oil because the oil difference is definitely there. This is original cake, right? This is exactly what the cake should be like. As we move across here, we have increasing amounts of egg. We have 1/2 teaspoon, a whole teaspoon, and 2 teaspoons. You can see as we get towards here, it's becoming more quiche-y. You can even tell to the touch that it's super quiche-y. Going down, we have increasing volumes of oil. We have 1/2 teaspoon of oil and 1 whole teaspoon of oil. But the question is, which one will make a better pizza crust? Just poking these, I'm not sure, because I've been poking them for a while. I don't want to eat all of them. It's so much cake. Alright, so I'm going to try just the regular base cake first. I love how it just comes out. Break a chunk off. Like, it's a very good cake. That would flake apart immediately. Maybe we need to overcook it some. Okay, so as we're coming across the egg, you can kind of see how it breaks apart a little differently. It's also a little stickier. Yeah, there's a difference. It's not perceivable yet. I'm actually just going to skip right to the full egg one. Yeah, this is kind of boring. I'm just going to skip to the end of this. Like, yeah, just poking these now, you can definitely tell the increase in egg does firm it up quite a bit. Doesn't make it firm enough, though. I think I have a plan, though. Figured maybe we'd give it a little glaze. See if that does anything to the toughness of the top. I think extra egg and just a little bit of extra oil, just to keep it kind of bready. In a way, it's really hard to explain, and I know I've been doing an absolutely abysmal job of articulating how these actually taste and feel. I'm also going to make the layer a lot thinner. I'm probably going to sandwich it between two of these. I'm going to get a nice sandwich going here so it's nice and thin. Cook it through most of the way. I know it's an ambitious step from here to there, but, I mean, why not? It's cake, and this idea is stupid, so why not? We're going to make one base cake, and then we're going to have the recipe. We're going to take one half and just bake that crust as is, just to see how it turns out. And then we're going to do another one with the additional egg and just a skosh of oil. We're also going to try adding flour this time and see how it goes. So I've separated out about half of the base cake batter, and we're going to set that aside. We'll prep that for the oven later, but now we're going to toss in our extra bits here. I think we want about one more egg, which is a quarter cup. This will be the equivalent of baking the base cake with 5 eggs instead of 3. And to bind this back up, we're going to put in some amount of flour. I don't know, until it feels right, I guess. So yeah, it's coming out very differently. Alright, so there we go. We got 2 half-full pie tins. I got some more pie tins here. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to keep them from rising in the center so they creep up the sides. We're not going to grease these very heavily because it was able to come out of the bottom part very well yesterday on the regular base cake test run. I'm just going to put this baking sheet on top of them. It seems like it's going to provide enough weight to just stay there. I also made a very thin layer of the flour variant batter just to see if this method works better, and also as a backup just in case the forming doesn't work. So into the oven this goes. Interesting. So the flour certainly didn't help it from staying quiche. It really feels quiche to the touch. We're going to take the other ones out in just a second here and see what they look like. So we're going to take this one off real quick. Didn't form as much of a depression as I had hoped. This is going to go back in so to let the center cook. So this one's also still raw in the center, but we're going to go ahead and throw it back in so it gets cooked. The form has been made though, and it's feeling pretty spongy, so hopefully that will harden up a little bit as well. So let's get these back in. I'm going to need both hands for that. Okay, so I took them out. They're mostly done in the center. You can see the flour one puffed up a whole big bunch. This one not so much. The regular base cake, not so much. We're going to let these cook the rest of the way, but we're going to make them cook with some pizza stuff in them. The topography of this pizza is just whack. So far, I'm a big fan of how the non-altered base cake is coming out. So maybe all that experimentation was just for nothing. So there we go. We got 3 pizza cakes here. This one's going to be impossible to get out afterwards because the cheese is going to stick. But these 2 might just be very easy to get out. So we'll see. This is it. They're done. Nice crusty edge on this one and on this one. This might actually turn out.
On that pizza cake. On that pizza cake. Wow. I'm that pizza cake. I'm that pizza cake.
So now it's time for the taste test. I'm really looking forward to this, although I'm not quite sure why. Over here we have the shaped flour batter. Here we have just the regular cake batter. And here's the flour batter that we just dump pizza stuff on. So we're gonna order this from least likely to most likely palatable. I mean, it's not bad. It is really moist though. The cake absorbed a lot. Let's try this piece. Whatever toughness we added with the flour and the extra egg went away with the moisture from the tomato sauce. Let's try a piece of the crust because we have crust on this one. A little bit crunchy, but on the inside it still tastes like cake. Again, it's very interesting. I'm not going to say it's bad. The spices from the sauce and especially the pepperoni are playing really interestingly with the cake, the sweetness of the cake. I think maybe I can pick this one up, which is shocking. Yeah. Honestly, just having regular cake on the bottom, it's perfectly fine. You're really in it for the novelty, I would say. The crust on this one formed exceptionally well. Started pulling apart a little bit, but you got nice. You hear that? Again, it doesn't taste bad. It tastes like a mess. Like when you put it in your mouth, it's super confusing. It's like, what is this? Like I can't even rate it out of 10 because it's just so weird. Is that not just really, it looks like a good pizza, right? Then you eat it and it's like, what is this? But don't just take my word for it. I have a very high tolerance for bad pizza.
Except for Emo's Pizza. Emo's Pizza is a thick crust nightmare.
Whoa. Anyway, I've asked one of my friends to come and sample the pizza cake. So let's meet James. What? I have it warming in the top oven. See, it's just pizza.
It's just pizza.
It's just pizza.
I don't believe you.
If this is cake, Tucker.
Yeah, I smell both pepperoni and cake.
Nice small slivers here.
Yeah, keep them small. Okay, and
That's really sweet smell.
alright, well. I mean, it tastes like what I would expect. It's a weird sensation. I mean, yeah. Like, that one had a lot of tomato with it. And I hope you won't be too offended if I don't finish these.
So yeah, share with me your thoughts.
It's what I would expect cake batter pizza to taste like, which is sort of unfortunate, I will say. It's not disgusting, but I also don't think I really needed cake batter pizza in my life, I'll be honest.
Well, I think we've all reached a similar conclusion here. Pizza cake, while not absolutely disgusting, it's just so confusing. The construction and taste and texture of it, it throws you off at every bite, at every mouthful. So to wrap this whole thing up, was I successful in making pizza cake? Absolutely, 100%. This is unequivocally pizza cake. There's no doubt in my mind that if you were to think about what pizza cake is, this is the new de facto standard. This is pizza cake. Why would you ever think about pizza cake? And why would you ever make it and consume it? I don't know. The short answer is don't. Well, that's about it for this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you have any thoughts on this, you can feel free to shoot me a comment. Or just shoot me. Anyway, I guess I'll see you in the next disappointing video. Bye!